Everybody, hello everybody, how you doing? Right, to use a name that my partner in crime, Mark, uses, hello all you changies out there. Are you bored with the usual serious, mundane podcasts and webinars on change management? Yes, you are. I bet you are. Well, then welcome. Now, you can come and join me and Mark Green. Be patient, he'll be on in a minute, okay? And on Leeman and Green's Change Management Unplugged series, starting today. This one, yes, you've heard us mention it before, and we hope you've actually watched the promo, but now it's the real deal, and it's totally unrehearsed. Honest, it is unrehearsed, yeah. So be prepared to go on a roller coaster ride of emotion, straight talking, controversy, some home truths, real life, off the cuff, no holds barred conversations. That's it from me. Mark, say hello, mate.
Hello, mate. It's fantastic. This I can't believe we're finally doing it. We're finally doing it, Ron. I hope people are prepared. I know I am. I just can't wait to get into the subject matters.
I'm kind of prepared. I mean, I've been on this. Oh, I forgot to mention, didn't I? I told you it was unrehearsed what this session is all about. It's all about project management versus change management. That long debated subject of whether a project manager can do change management, as etc. That's today. So sorry, you were saying, Mark.
No, that's fine.
Oh, by the way, before you start, I noticed the builders are in.
Oh yeah. Apologies. It looks like a drug den. Yeah, it looks like a drug den at the back of my head. We are decorating at the moment, so I haven't moved into a squalor. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about all the topics. What I absolutely love about this, though, I have to say, is that we're just going to say what we think. We're just going to
wing. It's called wing it. It's called winging it.
Yeah. Take it to your make it.
All right, so I'm not sure how long this is going to take. I mean, I've got my stopwatch on here, okay? So we're aiming for between 30 to 45 minutes-ish, kind of, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. So, Mark, I'm going to put this one over to you. Where do you want to start on the subject of project management and change management?
Well, I think for me, my biggest gripe at the moment, because let's face it, this is going to be a long list of my gripes, certainly. And
whatever.
the gripe at the moment is the amount of people and I really feel sorry for people who genuinely want to get into change management, because there's so many people at the moment on LinkedIn and other places that go, I'm a PM, but I've done a bit of change. It's not a problem. I can do change as well. And it just drives me insane, because anybody who's been in either game long enough should know, and I say should because not all of them do, that these are two capabilities with two strengths and weaknesses. And although they should collaborate, like a beautiful chocolate cloud, they should be wonderful together. They're not. Okay? No. They're not to be merged as one role. They are separate roles. And just interrupt me, Ron, because otherwise I'm going to ramble.
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt you because you're right. I mean, just to give you an example of what you're talking about. I mean, the PMI, Project Management Institute, are calling their project managers change makers. What a load of...
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're not change makers. They deliver something, yeah? They don't have time to talk to stakeholders. They don't have time to communicate. They don't have time to engage. They don't have time to do all of these things that a change manager does, which are the important elements of getting the people with you on the journey to go live. Yeah. And, I mean, as you know, I've been banging on about this for ages. I mean, I wrote my first article in 2014 on project management versus change management. I still stand by most of what I said in that article. In the last couple of years, about 6 months ago, I've been doing sessions for the PMI to their project managers to change management Didn't I tell you it was unrehearsed? project management chapters, yeah, to tell them all about what the difference is. Okay. And what I'd like to do is, just for a moment on that specific subject, I'd just like to share some feedback I got from here we go. It's a presentation I did that I put onto oops, where's it gone? Can you see anything? Oh, it's gone.
No, nothing. No,
unrehearsed. Let me
oh, natural.
Let me try again. It's gone dead. Oh no, there it is. There it is. Right. Okay. And this is, what the hell is going on?
Oh,
I don't understand. Okay, never mind. Anyway, I'll talk about it rather than show you the screen. The feedback I've got from, and I think I ended up with over 2,000 project managers I delivered to, over 30 PMI chapters. The feedback I've got was that change management was either known sort of or totally unknown. I mean, I've got questions like, what's the difference between a change manager and a project manager? And why do they need different skills and stuff like that? I've given up on the PMI chapters now because it's one of those things that really took a lot of time and effort and stuff like that. But it's they don't have the right skill set. They don't have the right. They're too focused on timelines, on deliverables, on reaching go live. So
it's fixed, it's rigid, it's linear, and you know what, not just that, but if you are going to choose to go in an industry, there's a type of person, I think, that goes into change, and a type of person that goes into project management.
Yes, you're right.
And no, I'm not saying anything derogatory about either sides, but the thing is, I think as a change manager, lead, whatever you want to call yourself, you have a natural affinity with people that you don't necessarily have to have that when you're a project. You've got to be just conscientious when you're a project manager.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, if you read the PM Box 7, okay, all 347 pages of it. I haven't read it all, by the way. They dedicate 5 pages to change management. 5 pages out of 347.
I mean, it's nice they give us a little mention, but you a little bit more than that.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, well, if you want to call yourself change makers, how about actually mentioning change management a few more times and going into a bit more detail about it, So, and it's kind of crazy. And there's another aspect as well. I had a question from a change manager in Canada. Yeah, and I put it on my YouTube channel. And there, apparently in Canada, change managers report to project managers.
Outrageous.
Absolutely crazy. So you've got a project manager who doesn't understand change, and the change manager reporting into them, and the change manager is trying to suggest things that they should be doing, etc. The project manager is going, so you get not only getting resistance from the people, your impacted stakeholders, you're getting resistance from the project manager as well.
I mean, that's just like your worst scenario, because there shouldn't be any difference in level, in seniority, and you should report into someone above that. And I mean, I mean, the same kind of goes a little bit with program management, because I remember years ago I worked on a huge implementation, massive, big program, and when I first went in, the program manager did not understand, did not see the worth in change management. Got project managers, totally understood what they did, because they had a plan. And it was A to Z, and he could follow it. Within, I'd say, 6 to 9 months, got it. We were sat having a pint, and he went, "I get what you do now." He said, "Because I'm sick of dealing with people. I'm so pleased you're here." And finally, it clicked and it registered, and he was like, "I get it now. I get what you." And all of a sudden, you're on the board, you're presenting, you're showing your stuff. what you're
And
doing.
it's all too late though, isn't it? You know, I mean,
That does happen a lot. Yeah.
I've been on the contract, what used to be on the contract market since 1996. Yes, I am a doddering old git before you say it. Okay. And I reckon in about, let's say 70 to 80% of the time I was brought into the project late, purely because things started to go wrong. And the things that started to go wrong were people things like resistance and stuff like that. And training was being pushed back. And the trouble there is that you start firefighting, you start chasing your tail, and you can't really do everything you want to do. But everything then suddenly focuses on you because you've been brought in to sort the problem out. And the project manager just carries on with their normal, you know, deliverables, etc. And it's frustrating. Yeah. And I mean, one of the main things is that I don't think the C-suite want to spend the money on change managers.
No, quite often.
Then when there's two things. They don't want to spend the money, one, and the other one is they don't understand it. They don't understand change management. What is all this soft, fluffy, you know, people stuff?
I hate the soft, fluffy. Yeah, I hate the soft, fluffy. Been called that for years. I'm a little bit soft, but I'm not fluffy. And the other thing, Ron, on that, and can I just put a disclaimer out for anybody watching this? If you want to move from being a PM to a CM, not a problem. Yeah. Not a problem. People like me, you, and others who will help and support.
I used to be a project manager. Yeah. I'm still a fellow of the Association of Project Management in the UK. So I've moved. Yeah. I run it. I'm going to do a quick plug now. I've got a driving for change management course, driving change management course, and I've trained project managers. Yeah, and they've loved it. Yeah. So it's not a problem because
no, it isn't. It's when.
Go on, Ken, go on.
I was just going to say, it's when you've got a PM who's been involved in a change program, who then starts competing with real change managers for change management roles. That annoys the pants off me because I know a lot of people out there, really, really good change managers, will struggle to get roles. You know, and the reason they're struggling is because you have somebody who's basically got a sniff of a change management program and gone, I do that as well.
Well, they call them project change managers, don't they? Well, what's that all about? Yeah, what's that all about? And this takes us on to another interesting debate, which is how many people on LinkedIn have got as part of their skill set change management.
Oh dear Lord.
When you look at their actual profile, there isn't mention of anything related to change whatsoever. No. Do not call yourself or do not say you have a change management skill set just because, like you said, you've been involved in a project or program that's had a bit of change and you've done a bit of stakeholder engagement and a bit of training management and stuff. Yeah, you're not you don't have change management as a skill set. You have it as you can understand it, but it's not a skill set. Sorry,
and that links on, doesn't it? And I know we've got all these to talk about in depth, but that links on. Please don't go take a course and come back and tell me you're a professional. It's like going and taking your HGV license and then telling me you're going to run a bus company. It's just, it just doesn't work. I get it. I love,
that kind of works with people going into change management as well who are not project managers. That if they take a course, if they take their 3-day whatever or 2-day whatever, they come off the course and think they're experts and start thinking they can actually deliver change. And it's kind of the same. So you can tar both with one brush. Is that a phrase? I don't know. Who cares? But yeah, project managers. What's the there was another thing. About project management. It's about, one of the things is positioning. Okay, and I think this is an important element. Yeah. So if you've got a project manager and a change manager on a project, okay, and the sponsor wants to talk to you or you want to talk to the sponsor, then the project manager will go to the sponsor and they'll talk about things like, okay, when's the start date? Has the PID been done? Sorry, project initiation document. When go live? When are the deliverables? Have we got quality gates? Yeah, what's the budget, etc. Now, if a change manager, goes and speaks to the sponsor, they'll talk about how ready are your people for change? Have you done an organization readiness assessment at all? Yeah. How about you as a sponsor? Do you know all about change? Are you aware of your responsibilities during the change process, etc.? So you've got two different angles that the project manager and the change manager come from in terms of gathering information at the outset. And, you know, that is a distinct difference between the two roles. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And it's at times, on programs and projects, you are actually competing for various priorities. You know, I mean, although it should be a harmonious, beautiful relationship, sometimes it's not, because you have those competing priorities, and the change will be about the people, and the project management will be about delivery. And I get that, I do appreciate it, but why on earth would somebody go, I can do both of those roles? Because I certainly wouldn't. I love my role, I love what I do, but that is 100% my time.
I couldn't go back to project management now. Project management is too structured, too focused on, as I keep on saying, deliverables and quality gates and go live. And that's the other thing. Yeah, and it's a pity you can't bring out my slides, but never mind, we talk about it. One of the slides I use, another plug during my training or during my project management and change management webinars, is the difference between what a project manager does and a change manager does pre-go live and post-go live. Okay, so you've got pre-go live, you've got lots of activity, you've got the change manager, time, cost, quality, and scope. That's what they're there for. That's what they're to deliver. Yeah. The change manager, if they're allowed to, sorry, I'm being very sexist there by saying if they're allowed to, they do communications, they do measure business readiness and stakeholder communication, etc. Come go live, what happens? The project manager will say, aha, I've delivered what I'm supposed to deliver. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Where's my next project? What does the change manager do? Well, wait a minute. What about all the business benefits? What about reinforcement? What about sustainment? And what about the most important of all, is usage and adoption of the solution that you, Mr. Project or Mrs. Project Manager, have delivered? Why aren't you staying on helping the change manager? Because you think you've delivered what you're supposed to deliver.
Yeah, all right. So two things. Firstly, just addressing your comment around sexist he, she. Let's face it, if you look at LinkedIn, every man, woman, hamster, chicken and budgerigar can do change management at the moment. I mean, that's just one point. Secondly, I totally agree. I think the other thing is, at the beginning of a project, your project manager doesn't really care about your vision and your goal and all the things that, as a change manager, you need to share to bring people along. They couldn't really give a monkey's about.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you at the end. How many times, because God knows it's happened to me a lot, the project stopped from a project management perspective, and then I'm sat there twiddling my thumbs, and they go, no, Mark, no, sorry, you got to go.
I know.
What about? And they go, no budget, no funds. See you later, Mark.
Talking about collaboration, and I'm of the view that collaboration should be real collaboration. And you talk about project plans and stuff like that, And so if you've got the project manager and they put a project plan together, but they are responsible for some of the change activities and they don't have a change manager, you probably won't find that many what I call real change management activities in the project plan. However, if you work in real collaboration with each other, like I have many times, if you can get your actual change manager, if you can get your actual activities into the master project plan, change management becomes visible. It becomes visible to people. Yeah. Yes, you still have things to meet. You still have deadlines to meet. Like if you've got a communication plan, yes, you've got certain communications you have to deliver by a certain time. If you've got a business readiness plan, you've got to do, you know, surveys on a cyclical basis. You've got to work out usage adoption, how to measure that, etc. So if you can get that information into a master project plan, and I have always pushed to do that, and sometimes I've been successful, sometimes I haven't, it becomes visible. Yeah. But it kind of upsets the project manager because that doesn't fit with the hard-nosed deliverable type information that they're normally used to for a project plan.
Yeah. And also I think that leads nicely onto having that senior leadership support. Right?
Yes.
Because that is absolutely critical and vital. So to give an example, a program I was working on a few years ago, I couldn't have asked for better. I had a director who got what I did, who understood what I did, supported what I did. I was involved in everything because change was happening across the board.
Yeah.
People who originally didn't get it started to get it. And it just became a normal thing. It was like change is part of this. So every board meeting, you know, every project meeting, weekly meeting, whatever, change was there, visible. Hi, I'm here. And that was just beautiful. Couldn't get better. That's better. But that is very rarely the case.
Right. Let me tell you something in stark opposition to that about a project I was involved in here where I live in sunny Thailand. It was an SAP implementation, and I was brought in late as usual. They had a sort of hard deadline to meet, so I had about 4 or 5 months worth of work to do. I was made responsible for training delivery. Okay, so I had someone working with me, and what we did was we assessed what they knew, pre-training. So we gave them 10 questions and then 4 options for each question. So tick which one you think. And then we had them trained, and we went afterwards, we assessed them again on the same questions. Guess what? The pre-questions that they answered were far more correct than the post questions they answered, post-training questions they answered. I raised it at the steering board. And I said, red flag, training, red flag, hasn't been very good. So what happens? I get booted off the steering board.
Very different experience. Very different experience.
And I'm thinking, okay, but then come the next steering board, I was just told to, dial in. And all of a sudden I was asked about training, but somebody else had put all the figures together. So I didn't know anything about them. And I said, oh, this is the first time I've seen this. And then I was castigated afterwards. Because they said, it's all about teamwork. Why didn't you just accept? I said, whoa. You threw me off the board. You said I wasn't any. Okay, so I no longer kept in touch with what was going on. Then all of a sudden you asked me a question. Okay, that is not collaboration in my eyes. That is, well, I'm not going to say what I thought it was, but it's crazy. It's crazy the kind of things that we have to put up with. But that's why we enjoy it, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Absolutely love what we do. I think another problem we've got with our industry, and this is a good one, you'll like this, is that certain large organizations, which I'm not going to name for legal reasons, have made change management into a factory of deliverables, right? And they've done that because it helps them sell, right? I get that. I know why you've done it. Doesn't really help us in the game, but they made it into so basically change management has become almost like a another form of project management.
It's a process-driven exercise.
Yeah, and I know why they've done that. I get it, but it drives me absolutely nuts because you'll quite often go in to a client and they'll have this expectation that you are just like, these organizations that have created lots of documents and deliverables. And actually you'll go, no, I've been doing change for 20 years. It doesn't work like that. How it works. This is what we should be doing. And quite often more than not, they don't like it.
Only 20 years, Mark.
Yeah, I know. Boys, how dare you? How outrageous.
What? Me? I'm not being outrageous at all.
So I think that causes us a problem.
It does. So, we're coming up to the sort of half-hour mark. Do you want to coming up to the half-hour mark, Mark?
I could talk about this probably for hours, but I appreciate not everybody will want to look at our beautiful faces.
I'm thinking of our esteemed audience, the audience of the future. 30 minutes is quite a long haul, and especially listening to us sort of having a go and rambling on about about things. So we're 26 minutes in. Okay, so let's do a wind down. Okay, so what do you think the most important thing is that we can do to try and ensure that the two roles actually work together, collaborate properly?
What
is it we can do?
I think we need to continue, with this cause of it is two separate roles, but we want to support each other. I think people need to have a little bit of common sense. Choose your lane. Find something you're good at. Choose your lane. There's lots of people who will help you. There's mentors, trainers, who will help and support. But choose your lane. Stick to it. That way, we get really good change managers, really good project managers, and everybody works together.
Well, this is kind of what I was trying to do with my project management versus change management sessions for the PMI chapters, and I got a bit frustrated. It fell on deaf ears. I was trying to get them to sort of understand that this is a collaborative effort, and again, it's a pity I can't show my slides because I did a survey not so long ago about what's most important: project management for change success or change management for project success. Change management for project success came out double, absolutely double for project management for change success. And as I said, I pity I can't use my slides. I'll have to check what's wrong with that one for the next session. I did loads of check. So and please, project managers, whoever you may be, I'm linked to a lot of project managers. This is not a condemnation of what you do, because you do a good job. I think all we're trying to say is that take off your blinkers a little bit. Just look at the big wide world of change out there, because there is a big wide world of change. Since the pandemic, change is now, like Heraclitus in 500 BC said, change is a constant. It is a constant, and you don't need to play at it. You need to understand it to actually do it properly. Is that kind of sort of?
I agree. We're not condemning anybody anywhere.
Absolutely not.
Everybody works so hard in all their roles, but if you want to do it properly, give it the attention it deserves.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got a minute left. So what I'll do is I'll just run down and say thank you very much, everyone, for listening to this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this up onto my YouTube channel at this stage, but I'm in the process of trying to set up a different channel for these specific videos. So, and I'll post this on LinkedIn. Okay, so you can all listen and watch it. And all I can say is thank you very much, everybody. And I hope you haven't taken offense at anything we've said, because, these are our views. These are Leeman and Green's change management unplugged views. So thank you very much. Look out for the next session, which is going to be the 70% failure rate.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Mark, thank you very much. Say goodbye.
Pleasure. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.